So, you want to learn backend engineering. You probably know it can feel like you're just wandering through a maze, right? There are so many languages, so many frameworks, and a never ending stream of tutorials. It's incredibly easy to get lost, and honestly, finding a clear path can be a huge challenge. Does this sound familiar? You're jumping from one video to the next, picking up little bits of code here and there, but you never really feel like you get the whole picture. So, the real question is, how do you stop being a tutorial follower and become a true backend engineer who can build big, impressive systems? Well, here's the secret. It's not about finding one more magic tutorial. It's about realizing that there's actually a structured path to getting really good at this. It's a journey, and it unfolds in 3 clear, logical phases that are designed to take you from feeling confused to feeling totally confident. Okay, let's dive in. Here is the roadmap for that whole journey. It starts with the philosophy, then it moves into the implementation, and it all wraps up with the projects. You can see how each step builds right on top of the last one, creating this super solid foundation for real-world skills. Let's break down exactly what each of these really means. First up, step 1, the philosophy. Before you even think about writing a line of code for a real project, your journey has to start with the why. Seriously, this is the foundation that absolutely everything else is built on. This whole phase is about understanding what we're calling the story of backend engineering. It's about getting the core ideas, the big picture questions that drive how systems are designed, and the fundamental principles that make everything tick together. And what's really interesting here is that this first step has almost nothing to do with a specific programming language. It's all about seeing that big picture of a real production system. It's about getting how all the pieces collaborate, learning skills that you can use no matter what language you're in, and finally being able to connect the dots behind the code. So that leads us right into step 2, the implementation. Once you have that philosophical foundation, and you actually get the why, well, now it's time to turn all that abstract knowledge into real working code. So, what do we mean by implementation? This is the part where you make a conscious choice. You pick a language, you pick its ecosystem, and you use it as a tool to bring those core philosophies that you just learned to life in your code. You're not just learning syntax anymore, you're applying concepts. And this illustrates it perfectly. You could go down 2 different paths, right? Say Node.js or Golang, but the core philosophies, like how you talk to a database or handle caching, they stay exactly the same. The only thing that changes are the specific tools and the code you write. The whole point is to do a deep dive and apply those universal principles inside whatever ecosystem you choose. Let's make that super concrete. The principle is interacting with a database. In the implementation phase, you'd explore that idea using a specific tool, like the Postgres.js driver if you're in the Node world, or the PGX driver if you're working with Go. Same idea, just different tools to get the job done. And that brings us to the final and maybe most important phase, step 3, the projects. This is where you take everything, your philosophical understanding, your implementation skills, and you forge them into something real. I mean, this is literally where it all comes together. Every concept, every deep dive, every philosophy, it all gets synthesized into actual, tangible applications that you can show off. And the crucial point here is, we're not talking about building a simple to-do list app. This phase is all about building complete, end-to-end applications that follow real industry standards and best practices. It's about creating multiple projects that are good enough to be in production, projects that prove you can really do this stuff. Okay, so you've walked these 3 steps: philosophy, implementation, and projects. Where does that get you? What's the final destination of this whole journey? The goal is simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. You gain the ability to build real systems. And not just little things that work for a day, but systems that are maintainable for the long haul and, most importantly, are built from the ground up to scale. And what does scale really mean here? We're talking about building systems that are engineered to handle a massive number of users, from 0 all the way up to 1 million. That's the level of engineering we're aiming for. And here it is. This is the ultimate payoff. After you've really absorbed the philosophy, mastered an implementation, and built real projects, you'll be able to confidently and safely call yourself a backend engineer. It's not just a title you give yourself, it's an identity you've earned. So there you have it, a clear 3-step journey to go from an aspiring coder to a true backend engineer. It's a path that values deep understanding over just another quick tutorial. You've seen the map. The only question left is, are you ready to walk it?